The e-brew in a bag system from Spike Brewing is finally here. In this video, we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to give you a rundown on the controller, the kettle, the basket, all of it. How's it going? My name is Brian. I'd like to welcome you to another video. If this is your first time here and you'd like to learn more about electric brewing, see how-to videos and product reviews just like this one, consider subscribing, and if you do, don't forget to click that bell so you won't miss a video when it comes out. Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Spike E-Brew in a Bag brewing system from Spike Brewing. Finally made it into Short Circuited Brewers HQ here. Got a few things that I wanted to just cover real quick. Number one is they did send the unit to me. It is a prototype. There's a couple of things that I want to note here before I get started going over everything. And they did say that at any time they reserve the right to call this thing back home, any and all parts of it. So there's no, I don't know if I'm getting to keep the thing or whatever, but just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I do appreciate Spike including me in the prototype beta testing of the unit. They sent it out. They want us to take a look at it, test it, use it, see how it goes. And they're going to make some final revisions for the production model. And let me just read kind of what they said here, just so you get an idea. First thing, the lid fit. The top of the basket is a little bit undersized, and as you can kind of see here, the lid is not fitting exactly perfect. But what they say, the basket is a little bit undersized, and it's going to be opened up slightly for production. The basket etching, it says, let's see if I can see it here. It says Spike Brewing across the front of here, and it is a little bit faint, so they say that they're going to be fixing that up on the actual production models, make it a little bit darker. Moving on to the basket, the hook, there's some hooks on it, and they're on the back here. Try not to make too much noise in your ears there. There's some hooks on the back here, and those are just like really quickly designed as a solution to be able to hang the basket. And then there's also a piece of stainless steel rod down here that's welded onto the basket. These things will be a little more refined, and then this stainless steel rod won't be there on the production model. The basket is actually going to have a little bit less taper to it, according to what they say in the literature there. And as a result, it will actually hang a little bit better in the kettle. So it's off kilter a little bit right now, but as they widen the bottom or reduce the taper to help with mash flow, as well as make it a little bit more stable in the kettle, they're going to actually have it, and it will sit a little bit more level, as you can imagine, once you add some diameter to the bottom of the kettle there. All right, what else did they say here? Yeah, so I covered the basket taper. The control panel, which I'll show you here in just a minute, is a prototype, and they say it's going to be a little bit more refined once they get to the production model. So let's take a look at what we've got. It is a 20-gallon Spike kettle. Nothing really special about it other than it is like an electric kettle. It wouldn't, you're going to find some more ports on this than you would on a gas unit. It has 1.5-inch tri-clamp ferrules on the front for your whirlpool, one at the bottom here for your dip tube for uptake in the kettle. It has a ferrule on the back here for a sensor, and then over here on this other side there is another ferrule for the 5500 watt element on it. Looking at the basket, it has a ferrule up top as well. It comes with 3 butterfly valves. It also comes with quick disconnects for each of the ports. On the inside of the basket here, there is a, let's see if I can show you here. There is a dip tube that you can actually, it looks like you can hook a hose up to it so that you can do the recirculation on it. So there's a couple dip tubes down inside. Then your sensor sticking through here. It does have gradation marks on the inside. And looks like a pretty well-designed unit as far as I can tell. I'm kind of interested to see the production model basket, because this is kind of an interesting solution that I hadn't seen before or thought of. One of the things that they did say about the basket when they were in production, I sent them a couple of emails or commented on one of their Instagram posts. The reason for the taper of the basket, I think, is twofold. Number one, it allows you to do smaller batches and not have to worry about the grain bed being so shallow. So if you taper it in, as you get to the bottom, it's going to have a little bit less surface area on the bottom and keep your grain bed a little thicker. Secondly, I believe they did it to allow them to attach these hooks and also be out of the way of the sensor in the bottom here. So One of the things that they did not send with the unit was a pump. They haven't spec'd that yet. So they're still working on speccing that. I have several pumps. I told them, don't worry about it. I can use one of my own pumps and that won't be a problem at all. All right, so the control panel is a fairly simple design. It has an element switch, a pump switch, and then a main power switch on and off. It is using a standard PID for the temperature control and maintaining the mash temperature, as well as doing a pulse width modulation for the boil volume or boil settings. They did send a couple of cords with it, one for the actual controller itself, which it has a twist lock on it, and then it has a standard dryer plug on the other side there. And then they also sent a twist lock for the element, and it plugs into the back here of the unit. Right back here, there's a spot for the sensor, spot for the main power, a spot for the element, and then a spot for your pump here. It does come with a nice silicone sensor wire. It has a XLR type jack on it to plug into the panel, and a nice locking mechanism that goes into the sensor on the kettle. So I'm very excited to brew the first batch of beer on this thing. I know Spike has done some extensive testing and they say that it works really well, but it'll be interesting to put this thing through its paces and check it out and see how it works. But just wanted to give you guys a quick overview once I got it here, show you everything that's going on with it, and let you know, remember, this is a prototype, so there's going to be some changes between this one and the actual production model. But again, wanted to say thanks to Spike for allowing me to be part of that beta testing with their new system. Leave me a comment down below. We don't have an MSRP on it yet or an actual ship date. Spike has not given that information to us, nor have they released it publicly. Leave me a comment down below. What's your thoughts after seeing everything on it? What are your thoughts on where you feel the price point should be? Spike didn't ask me to do that, obviously. I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are. I'm going to hold off until I brew on it and everything and kind of give you my thoughts on it once I've done a more thorough review. But just the initial first look, leave me a comment down below. What do you think this thing should be priced at? I'd be curious to know your thoughts. To make sure you don't miss the brew day with this thing, you got to make sure that you hit that subscribe button down in the corner down there, or you can go to our main page of our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. And if you do, and you want to be notified whenever this video drops of me brewing on this thing, be sure to hit that bell so you won't miss that video when it comes out. This has been Brian for Short Circuited Brewers. We'll see you on the next video and a brewing video on this thing.